All right, guys, it has been almost 3 months since we bought our very first boat. We sold the kayak and ended up getting this 13.5-foot fiberglass skiff. Almost immediately, I thought it'd be a really cool idea to turn to my community on Facebook and Instagram and open the floor for any kind of name suggestions for the boat. And then I took my top 8 favorite name suggestions and then I put them all in a bracket style challenge. And each day on my Instagram and Facebook stories, I would let people vote, and whatever ended up winning this bracket challenge, I was gonna name the boat regardless, even if it was a name that I didn't necessarily want to win. In fact, there were 2 names that I liked the best, so I put them on opposite ends of the bracket, and those 2 actually made it all the way to the finals. At that point, I really did not care. Whichever one was gonna win, and I was gonna name the boat, I was gonna stay true to what I said. Let my community name the boat. But I did have a favorite, but I didn't tell anybody, and what I wanted to win actually did end up winning. See, the top 2 came down to the SS Stoney, which is a play on my last name, kind of a Post Malone reference, and a business that one day I would eventually like to start. But the other one was the Hummingbird. And when it came down to it, on Instagram stories, SS Stoney actually won by 1 vote. But when you take into account Facebook votes, the Hummingbird actually won by 7 votes. So that means only 6 votes separated the winner from second place out of 88 total votes for naming my boat. And so from here on out, my boat will affectionately be known as the Hummingbird. And let me tell you why that's important. If you don't know my story, I was actually raised by my grandparents, and my grandfather passed away when I was in the 8th, 9th grade. And so I was raised all of my teenage and adult years in a single parent home with my grandmother. My grandmother sacrificed so much for me. You know, she had already raised 3 kids of her own, and then now she's raising a 4th, me, and she sacrificed so much so that I could have everything that I needed and almost everything that I wanted. She would sacrifice so that I could have. My grandmother and I had a very special bond, and one of the coolest things about our relationship was how she supported literally everything that I was into, whether it was video games or tennis or baseball. She even supported like my weird side. When I went through the emo phase where I wore all black, I painted my nails black, that whole side of TJ, like she still supported me even when I was a weird kid. So the day that this video goes live, February 23rd, would have been her birthday, but also it marks 3 years to the day that she went home to be with Jesus and reunite with my grandfather. And I remember her saying several times that not a day goes by that she doesn't miss my grandfather, and I didn't really comprehend that until, like I said, it's been 3 years and there's not a day that's gone by that I haven't thought or missed my grandmother. All right, so where does Hummingbird come from? Well, one of her favorite hobbies was sitting on the back porch watching birds, specifically hummingbirds. It was her favorite animal. She would put those little feeders with the red juice all around the porch, and at times they would all be swarmed with hummingbirds. And so it kind of came like a family thing. Like we all knew that that was her favorite bird to watch, so we bought her trinkets and things like that. And a couple family members have bird tattoos and stuff for her. So I thought that naming my very first boat in her honor, because I know that she would be supporting this YouTube journey just as much as she supported everything else that I've done. I'm really stoked that this boat is now going to be known as the Hummingbird. So I jumped into Photoshop and I got these I had these sweet little decals made, and this lady in the neighborhood, Stephanie, if you're watching, thank you so much, printed out some cool vinyl for me. So we're gonna stick these Hummingbird stickers on, or vinyls, on the side of the boat so that when we're out on the water, they'll probably be underwater, and they're white, so they'll probably get stained. But the point is that we're just branding my boat. Oh, and I also have these Team Guggen stickers too that we might throw on. Okay, quick little pro tip if you're putting vinyl on your boat or your car or your cooler, wherever. So the vinyl is gonna come with this clear paper. That's called the transfer paper. That's what you're actually gonna, stick it to. Then you peel the transfer paper off and your vinyl is on whatever you're putting it on. Your vinyl originally is gonna be sandwiched between that transfer paper and then this backing. And so you actually peel it with the transfer paper off of this backing. And sometimes the vinyl can get stuck to this. So prior to removing this, I took a squeegee and put my vinyl down on a cooler, ran the squeegee over it so that it would stick to the transfer paper. And now I put the transfer paper with the vinyl logo here. I took a squeegee, I went over it, make sure there's no air bubbles, and now we can peel this transfer paper off. And there's our vinyl. Actually came up a little bit, but that's okay. All right, it looks good. All right, there you guys have it. The name of the boat revealed. It's the Humminbird. These vinyls turned out so good. Stephanie, thank you so much. The quality is really great. It's actually, my boat has a lot of cracks and dings in it, so they're not perfectly flush. There's actually an air bubble on the other side, but it's because my boat is so jacked, not the vinyl. And then if you come around to the back side, we've got the Team Googan on either side. Like, I'm a walking billboard for Googan Squad and Googan Baits at this point. But hey, I believe in the product, I believe in the brand. Hashtag join the takeover. Guys, I'm so excited still to have my first boat. Sometimes I walk out in the garage and I see it and I think, man, I can't believe that I have a boat. And you guys have seen a couple trips in it thus far, but it's heating up, it's pre-spawn, it's almost spring. There's gonna be so much content coming out of this boat, and you guys know I'm working towards fishing tournaments, and eventually we'll have a bigger bass boat for that. But I'm told by my bass club that we'll be able to fish a couple tournaments actually out of this boat this year once I figure out the live well situation. Dude, those videos are gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to make countless memories in this boat, or should I say countless memories in the Humminbird. Guys, that is gonna do it for this video. It was short, sweet, and to the point. Thank you guys for listening to a little bit of my story. And hey, if you're enjoying the content and you wanna come on this journey with me, please hit subscribe. It would mean a lot to me if you would. And I'll see you guys very, very soon on the next one.